Canada has made a historic decision, one that marks a turning point in its national defense strategy and sets a bold new course for the country's future. This announcement is sending shockwaves through the global defense community, capturing the attention of military leaders, analysts, and policymakers around the world. On a crisp December morning, the Canadian government revealed its plan to not only purchase, but also domestically manufacture a new generation of advanced fighter jets right here on Canadian soil. In a landmark partnership with Sweden's Saab, Canada will soon be home to a state-of-the-art Gripen E production facility, bringing cutting-edge aerospace technology and expertise into the heart of the nation. This move decisively ends decades of reliance on American fighter technology, signaling a major shift in Canada's defense procurement and industrial policy. It's a bold step toward true strategic independence, empowering Canada to control its own defense destiny and make sovereign choices about its military future. The world is watching closely as Canada challenges the long-standing dominance of the F-35, sparking debate and curiosity about the future of air power in North America and beyond. By taking this bold initiative, Canada is redefining its role among NATO allies, demonstrating leadership and innovation within the alliance. For Canada, this is far more than just a military contract. It represents a multi-billion-dollar investment in high-tech jobs, advanced research, and national sovereignty, with ripple effects across the entire economy. The echoes of this groundbreaking announcement are being felt from Washington to Brussels, as allies and competitors alike reassess their own strategies. Tonight we'll dive deep into how this decision could reshape international alliances, influence political debates, and alter the trajectory of Canada's future on the world stage. The Great White North has drawn a new line in the sky, one that promises to redefine its place in the world for generations to come. To truly grasp the weight and significance of today's news, we need to look back and understand the long, winding journey that brought us here. Canada's aerospace legacy is a story filled with ambition, innovation, and heartbreak, a saga that has shaped the nation's identity and its place in the world of aviation. In the 1950s, the Avro Arrow project stood as a beacon of Canadian ingenuity. This supersonic interceptor was hailed as one of the most advanced aircraft of its time, a symbol of what Canadian engineers and visionaries could achieve. But despite its promise, the Arrow's abrupt cancellation sent shockwaves across the country, leaving a legacy of national disappointment and what-ifs. The fallout was immediate and profound. The end of the Arrow triggered a massive brain drain, as some of Canada's brightest minds packed their bags and headed south, finding new opportunities at NASA and in the booming American aerospace industry. In the decades that followed, Canada's defense procurement became a patchwork of compromises. Projects were often delayed, budgets ballooned, and the country grew increasingly reliant on foreign suppliers for its military needs rather than nurturing its own capabilities. The dream of a homegrown world-class fighter jet slowly faded away, replaced by off-the-shelf purchases from abroad and endless political debates over cost, strategy, and sovereignty. Now, with the proposed Gripen deal, there's a renewed sense of hope. Many see it as a rare opportunity to reclaim lost potential, to reverse decades of industrial decline, and to re-establish Canada as a leader in aerospace innovation. For countless Canadians, this is about more than just jets. It's about restoring national pride, creating high-tech jobs, and building a truly sovereign aerospace industry that can stand on its own. The government is betting that this time things will be different. They're promising a new era of collaboration between industry and government, with a focus on long-term growth and self-reliance. Canada is aiming to be more than just a buyer on the world stage. The goal is to become a true builder of world-class technology, one that can inspire future generations and secure the country's place in the global aerospace arena. For years, Canada's fighter jet saga revolved around the American F-35. Political infighting, cost overruns, and concerns about sovereignty plagued the process. Critics argued the F-35's stealth and price tag were overkill for Canada's needs, and its US-controlled systems limited Canadian autonomy. The debate left the Air Force flying aging Hornets and the public frustrated. This deadlock opened the door for alternatives. jets that offered partnership, technology transfer, and domestic production. The Gripen emerged as a solution that addressed Canada's unique requirements and anxieties. The stage was set for a dramatic shift in defense policy. Canada was ready for a new approach. While attention focused on the F-35, Saab quietly tailored its Gripen offer to Canada's needs. The pitch, not just to sell jets, but to build them in Canada, with full technology transfer and a new aerospace center. This answered calls for sovereignty and revived the spirit of the Avro Arrow. Project Maple Crown was fast-tracked after urgent briefings on aging jets and Arctic threats. Prime Minister Trudeau saw a chance for a legacy-defining move. Saab's CEO emphasized partnership. "We're inviting Canada to be a full partner in the Gripen enterprise." The deal solved military, industrial, and political challenges in one stroke. Using a national security exemption, the government bypassed red tape and announced the deal as a fait accompli. It was a bold, decisive pivot after years of gridlock. Project Maple Crown is ambitious. An initial order of 88 Canadian-built Gripen E fighters, anchored by a new aerospace center in Montreal. The facility will assemble jets for Canada and potentially for export, creating thousands of high-tech jobs. Construction begins in 2026 with the first jet rolling out by 2030 and operational capability by 2032. The Gripen's reliability, Arctic readiness, and low operating costs made it the ideal choice. The project will train hundreds of Canadian engineers and technicians, transferring vital expertise. Over 10,000 jobs are projected across the supply chain. The plan is set, contracts signed, and work is about to begin on a transformative national project. Canada's aerospace industry is poised for a renaissance. Washington's response has been measured but disappointed. Losing the Canadian contract is a strategic blow to the F-35 program and U.S. defense industry. For the first time in decades, Canada has chosen a European fighter, signaling a push for greater autonomy. The Gripen is NATO compatible, but introduces a new dynamic to NORAD and North American defense. U.S. lawmakers worry this could encourage other allies to look beyond the F-35. Trade tensions may rise and Canadian firms in the F-35 supply chain face uncertainty. Canada is challenging the traditional little brother role in defense. The success of Project Maple Crown could redefine the U.S.-Canada partnership. For now, Washington is watching and recalibrating. Project Maple Crown's economic impact will ripple far beyond defense. The Montreal Aerospace Center will anchor a new ecosystem of high-tech firms, boosting GDP and innovation. Technology transfer ensures much of the $22 billion investment stays in Canada, creating long-term value and export potential. The Canadian dollar and aerospace stocks have already risen on the news. Economists see this as a bet on innovation over resource extraction, diversifying the economy. Risks remain: cost overruns, delays, and the need for massive workforce upskilling. Success depends on flawless execution and partnership with Saab. The promise is immense, but so is the challenge. Defense experts call this Canada's biggest policy pivot since the Cold War. By choosing the Gripen, Canada joins a club of middle powers prioritizing sovereignty and cost-effectiveness. This move could make NATO more resilient by diversifying its advanced platforms. Over-reliance on the F-35 creates vulnerability. The Gripen adds flexibility. For Europe, it signals deeper transatlantic ties. For Russia and China, a renewed Canadian commitment to Arctic defense. The Gripen's design is ideal for harsh northern conditions. If Canada succeeds, it sets a new global precedent for defense procurement, partnership over patronage. Other nations will watch closely. The era of one-size-fits-all solutions may be ending. Canada has fired the starting gun on a new race in defense innovation. Canada's decision to build the Gripen E is more than a military purchase. It's a generational investment in sovereignty, innovation, and national pride. By choosing to manufacture these advanced jets at home, Canada is signaling to the world that it's ready to take control of its own destiny, both in defense and in technology. This bold move is about more than just aircraft. It's about building a foundation for future generations of Canadian engineers, scientists, and innovators. It closes the chapter on the Avro Arrow and the F-35 debate, balancing U.S. alliance with new European ties. For decades, Canada has wrestled with its identity in the aerospace world, torn between following American leadership and forging its own path. Now, by partnering with European allies and investing in homegrown talent, Canada is writing a new story, one that honors its past while looking boldly to the future. The road ahead will be tough, with risks of delays, cost overruns, and diplomatic fallout. Critics warn of the challenges that come with such an ambitious project, from technical hurdles to political disagreements. There will be moments of doubt, and the pressure to deliver will be immense. Yet the world will watch as Canada aims to revitalize its aerospace industry and secure its vast territory with home-built jets. This is a chance to inspire a new generation, create high-tech jobs, and prove that Canadian ingenuity can compete on the global stage. Project Maple Crown's success or failure will define Canada's legacy in the 21st century. It's a test of national resolve, and the outcome will shape how Canada is seen by its allies, its rivals, and its own citizens for decades to come. This is about forging a future where Canada is a creator, not just a consumer of technology. It's about empowering young Canadians to dream bigger, to innovate, and to lead in fields that will define tomorrow's world. The roar of Canadian-built Gripens will soon echo across the Arctic, a symbol of national control, resilience, and the ability to defend what matters most. These jets will not only patrol the skies but also inspire confidence in Canada's ability to protect its sovereignty. Canada has chosen its own path into an uncertain future, embracing risk in pursuit of independence and innovation. This journey will be watched closely, and its lessons will resonate far beyond Canada's borders. The implications will unfold for years to come, shaping not only Canada's defense but its place in the world, its economy, and its sense of national identity.